Lil Blood TV back again with another Lil Blood TV exclusive powered by Tucker Media, of course. Man. Legendary. That's all I'm gonna say. I usually do intros and shit, but I ain't even gonna do that. Like, nigga,
Right.
it's really a tweak, nigga. Bila. So,
Definitely.
dog. What's up, dog? How you doing, King?
Oh man, how you been, man?
Man, blessings.
You know.
Thanks for coming.
Oh man,
Are you
I
popping
had to do
already?
it. I had to do it because I was just thinking about the typewriter song that we did.
Oh, okay. Talk to me about it.
When you reached out and touched me and say, man, I need you on my shit.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like 911. Let's
Yes,
do it.
sir. Yes, sir. Blessings.
And then you followed up with the video.
Yes, sir.
So I said, that was love because us in the Bay Area. Especially the position that we play, we try to make sure we bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a time when the era came around, like the hyphy era,
Yes, sir.
and then they was yelling New Bay. You know what I'm saying? It's like we was not, you know what I'm saying?
Him in a kind of, they was trying
it was kind of cutting the cake.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? We can't cut the cake because, we big in numbers. You know what I'm saying? We when we vibe together, we stronger.
Yes, sir.
So when you start cutting the cake, it kind of make it seem like y'all shit ain't together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Salute to you. On the Double Down, so I'm working on this project called Legends Bridging the Gap, like he was just saying. And before I sent out any records, I was talking to B on the phone. I'm like, bro, this is what I want to do. This is my idea of the project. He said, it's cool. Who you want on there? Like, cats from my age, my era. And I explained to him who I wanted on there, and he made it happen for me. Not only did he make it happen for me, they let me touch beats and remix beats that was classics.
Yeah, sir.
And doing that, it's a lot of people who tried to do that before me. It's a lot of people, and they didn't get that blessing. So when they blessed me to touch platinum songs or to touch songs that you had no business doing, and when I sent them the songs and they heard my verses and they furthermore saluted me, I kind of it kind of hit me different. You get what I'm saying? And why I say it hit me different is because, like I said, you have A-list celebrities, you have platinum recording artists,
Right.
That you guys turn down.
Right, that's true.
Not as bad. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the ones that know about the project always ask me, when you gonna drop it, when you gonna drop it? You can't rush that.
No. And
You know what I'm
that's, because what you put into it is what you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure it's a masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
And you'll be, having 30-year celebrations like 40 Watt I did the other day.
Right. Damn, 30? For real?
Yeah, man.
30?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Rewind.
In a major way.
I'm going to keep it 100.
So that's how old that song is, bro.
Right. But this is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This nigga made me lose track. I'm sitting talking to a legend right now. So, but I'm gonna get to it. 80s, 90s. Y'all started rapping in the 80s, right? 90s, right?
Really late 88.
Late 88.
Yeah, 88.
So in the 80s and the 90s, right, compared to today. Now, like I said, it's a blessing to be relevant for 30 years. Niggas don't get them type of careers in nothing but politics. You get what I'm saying? What is one of the biggest difference or one of the main things that stick out the most from that era to now?
Really, the quality of music, the messages, and what it was bringing to the forefront. Like when music first came around, when hip hop first came around, like Grandmaster Flash and Sugar Hill Gang, they were storytelling.
Right.
And they were it was like a lot of stories, telling about where they from and stuff, and then try to sneak in a message. The song was called The Message, right? So that's what manuscript we kind of followed. We was storytelling, but we went a little bit more hood with it.
Right.
We also we liked the music, so you heard a lot of soulful hooks. We had Lil Viddy singing a lot of hooks, Sugar T singing hooks, songs that you remember like Hurricane,
Right.
things like that. You just you remember the hooks because the hooks had like
Conviction in it. Soul.
soul in it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it resonated with you. And I didn't fast forward to today. It resonated with the people in that age bracket. Now their kids is listening to that same
Definitely.
music. If
Definitely.
you go on TikTok, you'll see city to city people 25. You know what I'm saying, pulling up, and that's what that type of music did.
Okay, peak game, right?
Hmm.
So then y'all had to, I think y'all had to take it more serious because of the way the recording process was too. So now, like with the Pro Tools, you know how motherfuckers punch in, they do this and do that.
Yeah.
So 40 told me, he like, a session today probably would have ran you 100,000 easy on how the cats cut, you know what I'm saying, the punch in.
Yes.
He
Not
was
only
like, you had to slice reel or some shit he was
slice the
saying.
reels, you had to first of all, you had to buy that reel. That motherfucker was like 500. The
Yeah.
big 2-inch, right? And then it's like
How many songs can you record on that?
probably about 3.
Damn. And that's not counting the Mr. Maxer. Just
Just
500 for that.
Yeah, that's just the real.
Yeah.
Now it all depends on how long the song is. But back then it was 4-minute songs, and with the 3-minute songs, now it's 2-minute songs. You
Right.
feel me?
Dolph beat 30 minutes.
What?
Shout out show.
Right. So, yeah. So you got that, and then the engineer that got to work that. You got that big old Tascam machine. That motherfucker, whatever studio you in, that's gonna run you probably at least $50 to $75 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Just for the board.
Yeah, just for a motherfucker recording. You like how we go in the studio and you fucking around, getting loaded, drinking, and you recording. Yeah, that's costing you. So, yeah, it can run up. But I tell you what, like we was talking about motherfuckers and their worth ethic. Uh, that was Tupac.
Right.
He would go in 4 hours. He gonna make the beat, record the song.
What we're talking about. Tupac made beats. He was a producer.
No, I'm just saying,
Right.
whoever in there, in there with it.
But he working.
Yeah, back then everybody come to the studio to, the whole drum,
Right.
keyboards, all that. So they in there, they make that motherfucker, and you know what I'm saying, record it and mix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Probably a couple of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's some people. It might take them longer. Their process take longer. So you in the studio 3 or 4 days working on one song.
Yeah.
But if you sign to a label, they got you.
And they gonna take that. I'm glad you brought that up. Didn't you go major once?
Yeah.
Twice for the
Yeah, with the jive shit.
with the jive, right?
Cool.
So I'm pretty sure you recouped, you did your thing, because like I said, like in your city, that was jive.
That wasn't all the way jive, but that was like what is it called? An unorthodox P&D deal. It was like a P&D deal with some bells and whistles on it.
I don't even know what the hell P&D is.
Pressing and distribution.
Pressing and distribution.
Yeah.
So you press your own shit and you sell it?
They pressed it and put it out.
Okay, so.
But we was independent. We was on the independent. So it's like having a menu. We picked certain things off the menu that made sense to what we was doing.
Okay.
You feel me? And added that in to our deal.
Question. Is it more money independent or with a major label deal?
It all depends on what kind of deal you got, and what kind of buzz you got independent. If you could sell 100,000 records independent, that's what we was doing. We was 100,000 easy, at $10 a watt. So, you feel me? We was doing that on every release with no promotion.
So how did y'all catch jive attention?
Captain Sabo came out, and it was just blowing up.
So Captain Sabo was P&D too?
It started off independent.
Oh, talk to me.
Yeah, it started off independent. It was on the 40 shot. He shot Practice Looking Hard, and then we did Captain Sabo.
Practice Looking Hard. That was with Tupac, right?
He was in the video.
He was in the video.
Yeah.
How was Pac? What was it like being around that nigga?
I mean, he's just a regular dude, but he just, he's just like one of the young homies that's just excited about everything. just moving, doing 1,000 things a minute. But
Right.
he was cool. He was a real dude. He was like, man, I know your music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he let niggas know if he was fucking with you, he was fucking with you. He was out here. So, in Marin, and I didn't know him when he was,
Right.
doing this 1-2, or was out there. But I knew Man. But yeah. So he was around some solid dudes that was already, putting him up on the shit.
Right. Right. Um, do you think you got you get the flowers you deserve? Do you pay attention to it?
I mean, of course, if you been in it, you feel like, what I'm saying, everybody should feel that they great, what I'm saying, at what they do, you know what I'm saying? Um, but it's always been, coming from the Bay Area, it's always been an uphill, you feel me? Like, that's the whole purpose of us going independent. Um, and my whole run been really kind of like basically independent. It ain't
Definitely.
really, so um, it's been good. It works, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on, how you running it. But now with this, you know, you can either get on the major and they can make you real famous, but you're probably not gonna make that
Make
much
as much
money.
money. Right.
You know,
Right.
you're gonna fall in the recoupment uh, part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not recouped, or you're gonna borrow some more money because you got to look the part. You know what I'm saying? They got it all mapped out. You using studios. That, oh yeah, you can take this car, take these people out to dinner, and all that type of stuff. Then you got to pay all that back.
Have you ever felt like you was losing yourself to the industry, into the money, like you was becoming a slave to it?
Uh, nah, not necessarily a slave to it, but um, see, we had fun. You know what I'm saying? Like we was driving our own car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I say, when Captain Saberho came around, uh, that's when Jive came aboard. But Jive had already was the only like so-called major. They was independent too, but so-called major that was really out in the Bay. They already had Short and they already had Spice,
Right.
so
Right.
they already understood the assignment, like they say now.
Was Jive a West Coast label?
Nah, they was in New York.
Really?
Yeah, they was in New York, and
Who bought them? Def Jam?
I don't know who bought. I think Sony. I think.
So, question. So, when Sony buy Jive, they buy your projects and everything that's over there too. Like, does that come with it?
All depends on what your contract says.
Talk to me.
You feel me?
Talk to me.
But for the most part, yeah, they're gonna acquire everything, and then it's up to you to go in and say, "Hey, that's mine."
Be all the money in the world, everything at your hands. No girl gonna tell you no. You can get any car you want.
Right,
Money is not a thing. How is it that you stay grounded and stay focused and not being blinded by them lights? Because I know just on the level I'm on,
right.
I know that shit can be overwhelming and it can get you big headed.
It could if you let it, but like I'm gonna say it like this: coming from the Bay Area, right? The game started like on the blocks.
Right.
You was a hood celebrity before you was a rap star. You feel me? So that same women flocking to you, when you had the whips, the chains, whatever, the women, all that shit was already going on from early '80s. I mean, it was already. So when this other kind of money came, you knew how to handle it because you already been having money.
Right. Right. Right.
So it wasn't really a big, you know, wasn't a big difference.
What was it?
You love to perform and do your thing. That's just you embrace that type of energy.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
as far as the other stuff, it's like whatever.
What about the cousins, the mamas, the friends? Gimme, gimme, gimme. I need, I need, I need, I need.
I mean, we was about that, in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We felt like, we getting blessed, we're gonna bless others. You know what I'm saying? But it comes a time when you find out that no matter what you do for a person or some people, the minute that you can't do it,
Oh yeah.
it's you feel me? It's all kind of all this. So it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. So you pick and choose. You know who you feel rocking with you
Right,
and genuine, and that's who you fuck with.
right. Uh, Detroit, fuck with y'all heavy. And I mean, from the PZs to the V's Vezos, and like when I'm conversating with them, it be legit, be legit, be legit. Like
Them niggas really feel like I'm their big homie in a
God,
way
yeah.
because
Like,
I've been there so long.
was you living there or what? Like,
So I got four sisters down there.
okay, talk to me.
But in '98, Yacht, he was the CEO of Street Lords. He come down here to the Bay. He like, I want to put you on the song, for one of my boys, Blade Icewood. I'm like, bet. So he came down. Studio Tone did it, and then he's like, man, I'm gonna fly you back. We gonna do the video. And man, when them niggas flew me back, it was like going back to 1988. It was a caravan of cars, big vans, whips. Everybody had chains on. Niggas was getting money. They picked a nigga up. I was like, I ain't going back.
Right,
It was like going back in time, but on some good shit. You feel me? It was the movement was real. Um, they was solid. You know what I'm saying? It was like it felt like home. So once that started, we started doing music, and I just
so yeah,
yeah, I just started fucking with niggas, and one thing led to another. I just been out there like since like '98, bro, for real.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
homeboys that died.
You got real estate out there.
Nope, I could have got some, but you know.
What's your connection with Young Dolph? Young Dolph, love you, speak highly of you.
So Dolph, my partner, Ant Dog, he he from Memphis, but he been living out here for probably like 15 years. But when he came out here, I was like one of the first dudes he was fucking with.
Embraced you.
Yeah. So when he even moved by me and everything. So, but he was actually Dolph's big homie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he Dolph would come down here to come fuck with him, and then we start chopping it up. But what I'm saying he was like, oh man, round my way, man, you the nigga, man, and what I'm saying. We shot some videos and shit. I mean, he shot a video at my studio. Matter of fact, he came out here, and then he hooked up with guys, and then he took off.
But how did his death affect you?
Man, it was pretty sad, man. I felt like he was really just now getting started.
All right,
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we was in the middle of doing a video, bro. We did a video in L.A. What's the dude name? The dude, the other blood dude that got killed. He got killed in the yard. The dude was hanging on the chain.
not Rose.
Can't think of his name.
Recently?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Blood
about a
down.
year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Who?
Slim Funk.
Yeah, Slim
Okay.
Thug. There you go. We was all in the studio in L.A. He had all the cars out here, and we was shooting part of the video that song that he on my album with, and he was like, I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna have my people put it together. So he actually died with the footage.
Yeah.
Yep, he died with the footage. He
Yeah.
don't know what happened to him.
Early on,
You know?
cash money, cash money. Like it's crazy because I noticed like a lot of people when they start bubbling and get they pop, they come straight to y'all.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like especially like down south dudes, like that's where we got on at first. Like Shreveport, Louisiana, all through Texas, we was doing shows. So them people, they know our music. You know what I'm saying? So it was an influence on them.
Right.
So when they, when they get to the, to the to the league, they want to pay homage. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, come. We done been to, we done been out, all down to their little spot and shot videos with them in L.A. and all kinds of. I've been on Juvie tour bus just fucking around with him, and he always, it's like family with them dudes, man,
Right,
for real.
right, right,
You know, they been to the house, to 40 house and shit,
right,
way
right.
back in the gap.
So, well, why do Be Legit plays? I don't want to say play, but it's like you be chilling, like you don't really, and you feel me. And I know I'm like, I know Mila can do a lot of features. I know he can do that. I know he can do this. Like what drives you or keep you so poised and humble?
I mean, it's just like that's really the way to be. That's just who, that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a laid back, you know, laid back type of dude, but you know what I'm saying, I still be on my P's and Q's. And um, I remember having a conversation with Tupac, and he was talking about when he was letting me hear Machiavelli. He was saying, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna make a couple more albums, and then I'm just gonna pop out when necessary." You feel me?
Smart.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna still be around. Just stick my head out when it's necessary.
Question: all that laid back shit like that. Do females really attract to that shit?
Man, they attract to game. They attract to ism, right? You, they fun uh, through a conversation.
Okay, look, not to cut your wisdom short, right?
Hmm.
So Northern California, I'm not just gonna say the Bay because even Sac, even up a little further, like we adopted a culture. They filmed it back in Oakland. Let's put
For
it like
sure,
that.
for sure.
You feel me?
Right.
Why is it that you think, like, out of all the cities in the world, all the cities in the United States, like, or all of just regions, let's say regions, like, why do you think Northern California adopted that so hard or like that? How did we get?
That
Let
shit,
me
that shit was embedded in the DNA
talk to me.
of the area. You know what I'm saying? It's, like they say, it's one of the oldest professions, right? So when something is known for something, it's important to keep that going, to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So uh, if they make movies about it, they kind of expect it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And it became popular at one point. You know what I'm saying? And then history repeated itself.
Right, right, right,
So,
right. You ever
um,
dibbled and dabbed?
no, I ain't really dibbled and dabbed on no major level like that. But I had a conversation with a couple of people, see how it,
Right,
ping pong.
right, right, right.
Yeah, my
Um,
my my my, my extended, and then my father-in-law, is Kenny Red. So
God bless the dead.
yeah,
It's crazy. I had one of his hoes on here. I
yeah,
had Hustle Mom on here.
okay, for sure.
And shout out to Hustle Mom. I was trying to be so respectful. Like, man, when was the first time you lady leave? She's like, nigga, I was a hoe.
Right,
Like,
good
stop
point.
trying to be so yeah, nigga, I'm like, I love this lady. But
Yeah,
when she talks about him, she light up and shit like that. And she's like really invested into the culture of that. You get what I'm saying?
for sure. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. That's where she come from. That's her era. That's what they was doing. And it was their golden era. You feel
Mm,
me? They traveled the world. They did what they did. They had fun. Just like niggas talk about the dope gang. That was, that era. If you go to jail, I'm sure you hear a whole bunch of stories about what niggas had and what they
right,
did and shit like that.
yeah,
And then, uh, this new generation, they got another story. They talk about, scamming and bipping and, it just, it just goes on like that. So, but she come from the real part of it. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying?
right.
So
Do you have any children?
I got three.
Three.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever thought, like, have you ever looked at them and was afraid that you'll fail them?
Nah, I mean, for me, uh, I kind of look at failure as not really an option. You know, I think that's just what where I come from and how I was raised. So,
Right.
um, I had a paper route at 11. You know what I'm saying? So I was just always attracted to a hustle. You know what I mean? So, nah, I wouldn't have had them if I thought I would fail them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't
Right.
be
Right.
able to take care of them or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
Have you ever regretted any relationships?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to regret. Life is an experience, you know what I'm saying? So, you don't know everything. So, you're going to run across some things that didn't go. You didn't check that box. But the next time around, you're going to for sure check that box because that experience is something that you don't want to experience again. So, that's what life is.
If you could go back and talk to the 18-year-old B Will, what would you tell him?
Man, I tell that boy a whole lot
Man,
of shit.
talk to me.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I heard somebody else talk about this, but it's just like when you're young and you get some money, you think that money is yours, right? So you got to go through um, getting a bunch of money and then not paying your taxes and then dealing with that situation. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So then you got to figure out, okay, well, now I got to get my business in order, um, so it wouldn't be this hard on on the next one. So just a lot of stuff you have to learn along the way. But I don't regret none of it though. You know what I'm saying? It's just lessons. You know what I mean? If you don't learn from it, then it's all bad. You feel me?
Right, right,
But
right. You
uh,
consider yourself a role model?
uh, I I don't really consider myself as a role model in that type of way. But
What type of way, bro? Break that down to me.
okay, so I get a lot of people that did like 20 years, 15 years, or 30 years, or whatever, that come up to me, man, like in tears and shit. Like, man, you got me through it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, that's that becomes like my platinum and goals. You know what I'm saying? For me to know that I helped somebody make it through a tough situation, my music got them through it. Um, that really counts more than other type of accolades.
Right, right, right. Question: have you ever like been depressed or suicidal?
Never,
Never.
never. I mean, you can get down. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, as a man, you're gonna experience all emotions. Paranoia, uh, uh, anxiety. You know what I'm saying? But it's things that you got to go through to overcome it. You know what I mean? To know what it is and how to get over that hurdle. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. But I don't know, bro. Me, I think we all have regrets in a way,
Right.
and I think we all dealt with depression, and I think we all been in a place to where I don't want to say suicidal,
Mhm.
but I think we all have been in deep thought, like, what is my purpose here? At one point,
Yeah. It just all depends on how you grew up. Like if your parents was like deep in religion and they told you at a young age, boy, if you kill yourself, you know you ain't going to heaven. That kind of stick to your mind. You know what I'm saying? You kind of be like, oh, I ain't never gonna kill myself. I don't care how bad it get or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you got to be a strong person to come from a strong background to, the somebody gonna hand the ball off to you and you're gonna fumble. You know what I'm saying? But it's what you do with the fumble that's gonna build your character. You feel me?
dealing with your career, sometimes do you look back on it, especially being at the age you are now, like you ever look back like, damn, I should have made this decision, or I should have took this deal, or I should have been on this song, or do you ever have them
I mean,
thoughts?
I think like once again, to some type of form and fashion, the universe is gonna have you right where you're needed at. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if I might have been too big, I might not have been able to talk to these people in the strip clubs or in the hood in the trap because I became unreachable. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I think as individuals that have any type of success or just any type of game, it's your duty to pass that on. To the whoever need it. When you see somebody, getting out of line or whatever, or not even getting out of line, just wondering, hey, or having those suicidal thoughts, they might want to holler at you. Like I tell them, like barbers be these type of characters that you don't know what people are going through when they come sit in your chair. So
Uh,
you become somewhat a counselor,
Therapist.
yeah, a
Yeah.
therapist. You know what I'm
Say
saying to
that.
these people. Same with a hairdresser. You know what I'm saying. Anybody that's really working in public relations, because sometimes you just feel better talking to a stranger and expressing your inner thoughts where they won't judge you because you might not never see them again versus telling one of your close friends that might judge you and call you weak and send you right over the edge.
Did you have a relationship with Mac Dre?
Definitely.
Ever?
Yeah, for sure.
What was that like?
It was cool. I tell a story about D Shot was going with one of his partners, Nate, little Nate, his sister. So we would be at that house like every day. You know what
In
I'm
the
saying?
crest?
In the crest, in the crest. And they was over there. They was around the room. He was rapping, always rapping, writing his raps and shit. And we had put out a record. This like in '88. We had put out MVP. And
You and Mac Dre?
no, me and the clique. We was called MVP back then. The first thing that we ever put out was like a maxi single. You feel me? We was putting it in the stores and barbershops and shit, and it was selling, right? Um, so he was like, man, he was like, man, how y'all get a record? Like, you know what I'm saying? What did y'all do? And he was just intrigued about, um, being a rapper and getting his shit together. You know what I'm saying? So we would always chop it up on that level. And then, then pretty soon he came out. He started blowing up. But I always say, he didn't get a chance to see how big he actually got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was his aim and his goal, and he was on his way.
Right.
You know,
Right. 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 Right.
but yeah, no, we did a song together. We used to be at the grill. I got an old picture on my Instagram where we did a song together, and we featured on somebody's, I think somebody's shit in Detroit. It was just me, Mac Dre, and the other artist. Yeah,
Drugs. Let's talk about drugs.
drugs.
Um, Drugs can make you or break you. And why I say make you,
Hmm.
because dang, I don't know how to censor this out. Or
I think
okay, hold on. So I had a conversation with Big Sat. He from LA, right?
right.
And he said Serb helped him get to where he's at in his career because of the way it has him feeling and the way he can tune into his emotions when he's, you feel me, inebriated.
You don't uh, all them rock and roll dudes. Uh, Shit, George Clinton, everybody. That's it kind of allows you to be creative in a way that you wouldn't be creative normally, and that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing because it could be allowing other entities to take control.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to be careful with
you think you spent over $1 million on weed?
that. Definitely spent $1 million
Definitely,
on weed.
definitely.
Yes,
What was the
yes.
stupidest shit you ever bought?
Stupidest shit. I don't know. Let me see. I don't really. I remember the stupidest thing I ever bought was a Kirby vacuum from my partner. He was selling Kirby's, and I fell for
I ain't talking about that little shit. I'm talking about nigga when you some
it.
shit you spent $1 million on it or 100,000 and
I ain't.
regretted it.
I don't do that.
You know that?
I'm a smart buyer. I don't even buy. I put my shit on layaway when I go buy my jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I give them 5,000.
Wow.
Go do another show, give them another 5,000. I got all day to buy that shit.
Wow.
I don't need it today.
Wow.
But
So what if a nigga call a nigga broke for doing that type of shit? Because that's what they do.
shit, man, they talked about Jesus Christ, right? Allegedly.
Right.
So I mean, they gonna talk. People talking. I don't give a damn. Like you know what you got going on. You should be confident about yourself and know what you worth and how you like to play your shit. You can't let another motherfucker dictate how you get in.
At this point in your career, you said you got another project that's about to drop, right?
Yeah, we got a compilation ready that's getting ready to drop for the Block
With the
Movement
whole
label.
clique?
No, this is just Block Movement, my label.
Would the clique ever do another project?
Definitely, we always talk about doing them, but motherfuckers be busy, bro. Everybody got different schedules now. You know, when you're grown and got uh, obligations and households, it be kind of hard to just go hang out. So if we get the time, we should put that together. We
Are
talk
you
about
are
that
you active on your Instagram?
a little bit.
A little bit. What's your shit so that people can find you?
Oh, be legit 72 at Gmail. That's my Gmail. That's what I'm tripping at. Be legit 72. Yeah, that's my IG right there.
Man, bro, I appreciate you for coming to sit down with me.
Yes, sir.
I see you over there shaking like a mini bike because you
Hey
still
man, it's
cold.
cold in this motherfucker, man.
Feel
We
me?
in a warehouse, but
Why
it's
you telling motherfuckers where we at? See what I'm
okay.
saying, bro?
All right,
See
my
how you
bad.
doing me? But
But
big bro,
we live on the set though. You feel me? Yeah, we
big
live
bro,
on the
let me
set.
give you your flowers like me to you on some real shit. I
Yes, sir.
salute you, bro. And
Yeah,
when I call you, pick up.
that's right.
You get what I'm saying? You didn't put dun game in my ears for hours at a time. And
Yeah.
I brag about it, you and 40. You feel me? People will never know because we ain't on no Instagram posty shit.
No,
You feel me?
we have real conversations like men. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
And I salute you as well because you open up to me about how you felt, and then you became this guy,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Little Blood TV.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
We're going to do it again. Man, keep pushing, big bro. I salute you. And
definitely.
thank you again,
For
bro.
sure.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure. All right.